Hello, this is the first unit of the operating systems course. We generally use operating systems every day of our life. We use computers, laptops, mobile phones, and different various machines which have some sort of an operating system in them. But we do not really understand what an operating system does. What is the role of an operating system? What we need to understand is what complexities of the hardware, the machine, is that operating system hiding? What are the functions that it is providing to the user? What are the different other activities that the operating system manages without us being unnecessarily troubled by it? What we will see in this unit is, first we will understand why this is called a system. What we will understand here is what system means. A system is a machine, is a device, is a software piece which is made of various different components. These components interact with each other and eventually we get some output based on some input. A system is just an infrastructure which deals with external input, processes it, gives some output. But what we need to understand here is a system can always be understood as a part of a larger system, in which case the system would be a subsystem of a larger system, or we can see a system as a larger whole comprising of little smaller subsystems. And that is what an operating system is. It is not just one large monolithic piece of software. It is actually a piece of software which has many specific smaller components. And during this course, we will try to understand what these components do. We will try to gain a basic understanding of operating systems in this unit. We will try to see how operating systems have evolved since the beginning of computer age. We can vaguely say that the computer started in 1950s. Operating systems as we know it came in very late. There were systems, there were software systems which were in place earlier but did not really qualify as operating systems as we see today. We will see what those earlier operating systems did and how they built up their subsystems to come up with this larger piece of software that we today term as an operating system. We will also see what are the various goals of an operating system. What does it try to achieve? If we look at a computer system as a machine, we have to realize that that machine is very complex. But yet, when we interact with a computer, it is usually intuitive, easy to access, easy to use. What we learn in this course is that operating system is that piece of software which allows you to hide the complexities of the more complex hardware machine and gives you an easy to use interface. Also, it gives you an easy to use interface which can connect to other machines, which we now see as internet or Bluetooth connectivity or USB connectivity to any other device, so on and so forth. In the first unit, primarily we will see what are the origins of operating systems, how they came to be, how they developed, what are the different parts of an OS, and eventually what the current OS look like. We will classify these operating systems into various categories based on their characteristics. We can have a basic understanding of different categories of operating systems if we just look around us. The first thing that we see is there is a computer, the personal computer, the large desktop sitting on a machine, on a desk, and that machine has a large operating system. Then you have laptops which have very similar operating system. Then you have tablets, which have a slightly modified, leaner version of an operating system. Then you have mobile phones, which have even leaner operating system. Then we have machines that we do not even think about as having operating systems, but they do. For example, a car. Modern cars have operating systems built into their engines, which are operating that engine, taking input from the user and operating the engine. That operating system could be called an embedded operating system. It is a circuit board that is on the machine inside the engine, which is taking various inputs from the user and translating them to instructions to the engine. Last thing that we would see is how operating systems abstract out the difficulties that computer hardware brings to the modern machines. As the computer age developed, matured, the machines became more and more complex. And as the complexity increased, there was more and more necessity to reduce the human's load, that is, the human's effort required to interact with that machine. And that is what we achieve by having the modern operating system, which completely hides the underlying complexities of the computer system.